And it is absolutely possible. It's within completely in the realms of possibility.
Yes, of
we
course.
have seen nations from the Middle East be so effective. We've seen, of course, Saudi Arabia in the top bracket, or in the winners bracket. We have seen nations who have performed very well indeed at these championships.
And we will see Barcelona against Barcelona once again.
It was to be expected from both teams. I think they were both the teams that, or they were the same teams that they used in the earlier games. So it's a case of, no, I'm going to stick with what I know. I'm not going to deviate. I'm not going to do a moocher hit as I've now coined it. I'm not going to change my team. I'm going to stick with them. And that's what we're going to see here. And as we see two teams of Barcelona lining up against each other.
It's 3-1-4-2.
3-1-4-2. And then, of course, we're just waiting to see what is employed from the other side of the field.
And you on the chat, who do you think is gonna win this game?
Yeah, we are across both chats. Of course, we are live on Twitch at twitch.tv/IESF_TV3, and of course on YouTube we are on where, Fredita? Where are we?
We are on the Garudaku web. YouTube channel, not web.
Yeah, we've got the PB space ESI that we're also on YouTube as well.
Yes,
so
yes, that's
again,
true. And garudaku.esi.
Yeah, so we are across all of those channels. Of course, we are in different chats. Of course, we are keeping abreast of everything here as we see. It is Serbia from left to right, and they are starting off early. It's them in the traditional home colours of FC Barcelona. It is Iraq going from right to left in the white alternate kit. Here's Ousmane Dembele. It's blocked away by Pedri. Here is Lewandowski. Rafinha, double touch. In towards Lewandowski. You would say goal, but you glance up and it is just offside.
It was just quite, but not yet.
So if you hold your applause, if you're an Iraq fan, and you see a lot in the Twitch chat. There's a lot of Serbia fans in the house. There's a lot of Iraq fans in the house. And
it's Mohamed Wasim that says, bro, come on, my friend.
Well, there certainly will be a lot of come on Iraq in terms of the abilities that they have at their disposal. Pedri trying to get his way through. Goalkeeper will smother and the defender will take it away. And Serbia, again, under a little bit of pressure to start with, but it's going backwards and forwards. It's going to be that first goal that will really set the tone here. Is Frenkie de Jong tries to get there.
Make the first goal. It's a mystery, my friend.
Who is going to blink first in the game of eFootball Chicken? Here's Rafinha. Rafinha forward. Dribbling into the box here. Finds Robert Lewandowski. Lewandowski tries to take a step away. It's cleared away by Frenkie de Jong. Here's Pedri. Onto Lewandowski. On towards Memphis Depay. Depay to Dembele. Dembele marshalled away by Jordi Alba. The counter-attack may be just beyond here. Jordi Alba has men to his left. It is Ousmane Dembele, who is onside, keeps the ball in play. Dembele blocked away by Araujo. Thank you very much. One of these days I'll get it completely right on my own.
But you might be saying it right, because I see on the U I have a dot, so it may be Araujo.
Araujo. Well, either way, it is a Barcelona defender, and it is Serbia on the attack once more. Here's Rafinha looking towards Robert Lewandowski, but instead, pass goes into the middle of nowhere, and Iraq will look to lead the line once more as they find Robert Lewandowski, who again is dispossessed. Here's ter Stegen, Koundé, and Sergio Busquets out wide to Rafinha against Serbia.
Opa!
European champion across so many different tournaments, but unfortunately has not found his form here today. Hopefully he will find it and discover it.
The problem for now, it's a tactical one. He cannot find his mates.
Yeah, his teammates they're seeming to just run everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's finding your passes and finding your comfort level. Here's Rafinha. Rafinha crossing into box. Lewandowski was looking for an additional pass more, but he couldn't quite get hold of the ball. And ter Stegen will roll it out to Frenkie de Jong. Again, it's going at a frenetic pace here. He's backwards and forwards. Dembele to Depay. Back to Dembele. Dembele. To get the ball into the box. It's cleared away.
And I think that when we have both teams using the same one, it gets a kind of more difficult.
It does, because both will know each other's strengths and weaknesses depending on the players they're using. The ball is going at frenetic pace, and it's Frenkie de Jong who opens the scoring for Serbia. And that's the type of level we've come to expect from Roxa.
Exactly. I was thinking that same phrase. This is what we bought the ticket to see. This is the kind of attacks we expect from a champion like Roxa.
Absolutely, indeed. It's triangles. It's triangles. It's brilliant. It's going in that 7 touches in terms of that triangle that you'll see. It's 1, 2, 3, 4,
it's a diamond.
5. Yes, it's fantastic, but it's that triangle. When I've spoken about that triangle, that's probably the most perfect goal I've seen displaying that triangle.
Yes,
it's the centre attacking midfielder, or the attacking midfielder in this case. It's the 2 strikers, and it's combining between all 3, and it's finding your right moment to play that killer ball and then take the shot away.
So he seems to have recovered the memory. Let's see if this is an oasis or if this is where we go into.
Well, this will certainly be a sign of relief for Roxa, but Iraq are on the charge again. Wow. Iraq equalise. And it goes back to that sporting parlance. You're most vulnerable when you've just scored.
This is post-goal darkness.
It is absolutely indeed. 31 minutes gone here. And Iraq fans around the world will certainly be happy with that performance. And certainly happy getting that goal back. Again, it's a good bit of play here. Getting the ball into the box. Again, finding that moment. And instead of dummying or instead of a double touch, just take a strike. Sometimes it is simple as taking a hit.
But, you know, it's a mistake on this defender, number 3, and it's a mistake on this defender, number 23. 2 defenders fail, you end going to grab the ball.
At the back of your net, indeed.
Exactly.
PK and Kunde combining for a bit of disaster there for Serbia. And now it is led back the way of Iraq. Here is Jordi Alba to Ousmane Dembele. Dembele forward, and PK will intercept. Will Roxa suffer the same fate as Mexico? Or will he find that level that we know he is capable of? Here is Robert Lewandowski on towards Pedri, on towards Depay. Dembele has got players over now. Plays it into Memphis Depay.
He has found his mates now.
He has indeed, but he's not found his mate at the edge of the box, and as a result, Ousmane Dembele will lead this away for Iraq, and he's tidily dealt with by Roxa. Here's Pedri, here's Lewandowski. Lewandowski in towards Memphis Depay. Depay looking to try and push that issue once more, and instead it's cleared away by Iraq.
He kept the ball for a minute too long.
It's those fine margins that we talk about, Fedite, in terms of you can keep it 1 second too long or 1 virtual second too long, and it's enough to take the chance away from you.
That's true. That's true.
Here is Pedri.
Here we are in game 1.
Great turn from Iraq here. It's Pedri in towards Lewandowski. Lewandowski into Rafinha. Good save for the goalkeeper. Rafinha will recycle the ball. Rafinha still going. Rafinha doing great play here, and he could go all the way, but
he went for the goal himself.
He did indeed. But again, as we say, sometimes you need to expect the unexpected. Here's Robert Lewandowski, and he rolls the ball back straight into an opponent. And at half-time, we are level.
Half-time, 1 for Iraq, 1 for Serbia. I think it's a fair result. It's an even result. Nobody can say, oh, I should be winning, I did more. No, it's more or less the same.
Yeah, it's almost as though, again, with the way that it's going to go here, it's almost as though that first 45 minutes didn't really exist, because they're level and they're going in level and it's under control.
So this is game 1 of the best of 3. Remember, we don't have extra time. If this result doesn't break in this second half, we will be going to penalty kicks.
Indeed, penalty kicks could be in game 1 if there's not a goal in this second half. However, I would look at these 2 teams and these 2 countries and suggest that this is not over by a long shot. Here's Ousmane Dembele to Pedri. Iraq looking to try and again ask questions of that Serbian defence.
Almost midnight in Bali.
It is indeed, and this is prime time viewing for those across the globe. If you are just joining us, what have you been doing and what have you missed? Here is Ousmane Dembele. Dembele looks to shoot, and he does score. It's a slight deflection off of Araujo. But again, Serbia will not care one moment.
No, and he comes once again at the front of the score. It's 2-1 for Serbia, with some little help of the defender. That should not be missed. But you know what? For the score, nothing matters. It's 2-1. 2-1 for Serbia. Will he be able to keep this advantage?
Well, you would like to think so, but again, as we said, Iraq, top goal scorers in this competition so far.
It was almost an own goal.
It was almost an own goal, but I think it's going to be credited to Dembele, because I think it was on the way in regardless. Because if you look at it here, by the rules of the dubious goals commission, it would have been it's inside the goals. It looks like it's gonna be on target, and we'll give it to Dembele anyway. But as we see here, again, it won't matter whether it was an own goal or whether it was a Dembele finish. They all count the same. As we see Serbia take the lead. Here is Robert Lewandowski, looking to be a bit more comfortable for Roxa now. Looks to have just established a little bit of rhythm, but it will only take one big movement from Iraq to unsettle that comfort as PK comes across and deals with the situation. But Rafinha gives it away once more, and as a player at the top of your screen, it is Ousmane Dembele. Dembele fakes the dummy. Big save from the goalkeeper. It will go for a corner.
Corner kick. So this is Iraq coming again for the equalizer. He surely keeps fighting.
He will have to keep fighting. There will be no give in these two teams, knowing these two nations and knowing the pride they have for each of their countries. There will be no give left in them after this game. Here is Lewandowski. Challenge was on, but the ball is played on. Oh, it's a big header, and it is cleared away. Here's Rafinha. On to Pedri.
60 minutes have passed. And now
have passed indeed.
Iraq come for the equalizer.
They are going to keep fighting regardless of what happens. They're going to keep going, but so are Serbia. Here's Lewandowski, finds the ball across. It's Ousmane Dembele. Dembele, it's smart play from Serbia. It's smart play from Roxa, and they establish a 2-goal lead.
And that's the experience talking, because he didn't rush, he didn't get mad, he didn't get nervous. He said, if I have to make one more pass, I will make it.
He makes that pass, but then it's the manual goalkeeping read that he does here. You can see that the manual goalkeeping had been taking effect. So, again, if you are quite close to a manual goalkeeper for those guys at home, sometimes the best thing you can do is turn away from him and try and slot it in, as we see expertly applied, as you can see, the quick feet of Ousmane Dembele. And that is 3-1 to Serbia. And that is a big lead for a player of Roxa's calibre. He will know that that was a vital goal, and that may just be that spirit breaker we talk about so often. But Iraq have got time on the clock here. If they can find an if they can find a goal back early, as we see Robert Lewandowski, bottom of your screen, you see players that are involved. One of them's Pedri, the other one's Rafinha!
And it's a goal. It's 3-2. Once again, the curse of the goal. You make a goal, you have to at least defend for 5 to 10 virtual minutes with hearts and arms. You know, you cannot give them like a meter, because this happened one and again in the tournament. Yeah, after you score, you are vulnerable.
And you can see there Pedri winning the battle with Busquets as that ball comes across. It was blocked expertly, but again then it's a 50-50 foot race as to who gets that ball, and in this case it was Pedri. Again, that was celebrated very passionately in the Twitch chat as we continue to see these games develop, as we see changes coming in.
We are playing to the best of 3. By now, And just by now, this game is going to Serbia just with a 1-goal lead.
Yeah, they have
very small lead.
They have their noses in front here.
Yeah.
But it will be critical as to whether they can keep that level going. Is Frankie de Jong on towards Ferran Torres. And we talk about keeping that level up and keep that level going. We haven't seen him in a while score a goal in a Barcelona shirt, but it is Ferran Torres, who we've seen so many times over the course of this tournament, now being brought to the party for Serbia, and that is restoring the 2-goal lead.
I would like to add to the stats scores after his own goal.
So scores in reply very quickly after. Yeah, we can certainly get that.
It's amazing how many of these goals we had. Is it because players are kind of cold? Is it because you have your whole team at one side of the pitch? I don't know why this is.
I think looking at the way that this game works is that if you notice from the kickoff, you'll notice this. If you keep your eyes on the Barcelona defence, for example, players will automatically start to move up. They just have a little jog back, depending on the mentality that you have at the bottom of your screen. But of course, there's focus that's involved. You have to make sure that you get that ball back. You have to almost respect that kickoff period. As the ball goes in, it's just put over the bar.
See, once again.
But that's a period of the game that you have to respect. You have to respect the kickoff, and you have to respect the fact that there are going to be opportunities for your opponent. But you just need to, again, like we say, ultimately tuck your chin. Make sure that you get through that period. Once the ball breaks in play, then you've got a bit of something to work with.
Yeah,
and see here.
Now teams are already deployed all over the pitch, so everything comes back to normal.
Absolutely. Absolutely indeed. As we see, De Jong to Alba. There's Ansu Fati. It's cleared away by the defender. And you can see a pause cued here.
75 virtual minutes.
Again, you'll see all of these changes will mean everything to these players. They will know these teams like the back of their hands. They will know them inside out. They will know what players they need to choose, in what situations to choose them. As Pedri makes way for Frank Kessie. A little bit of a defensive bulldozer is Frank Kessie, but he's not without a little bit of skill either, as we find a really good ball in there towards Memphis Depay, but it's slightly overhit.
So the ball is on Iraq's feet once again. He won't lower his team. He still has high spirits. And Roxa touches the ball dangerously, but letting the clock tick.
Indeed, he will let that clock tick down. The more that ball is kept in play, as we've said to you guys in the chat, as we've said to you viewers at home, if you're watching this wherever you may be, if you're watching this back on playback, the time on the clock is not your friend if you are behind in the game. And of course, Roxa, if you keep this ball in play, it will just keep ticking. As you can see, the ball keeps moving, but the clock keeps ticking. We are on 8 minutes left here. We would surely think that Iraq would need to find something now to then make this a little bit more interesting in the final stage. Ferran Torres looked for that lofted through ball that we saw used to great effect against Spain. Does not find a target this time. And instead, Roxa smartly moving to defensive. And Jordi Alba, as you can see, fatigue, as we said,
now
plays
he takes
an
the ball.
important part.
Now he takes the ball.
Now he gets the ball.
He has no rush.
He has absolutely no rush, and the clock is still ticking. Beautiful ball into Frankie de Jong, looking back towards Kesse. He recovers the ball in transition. Ferran Torres.
He looked
it's a
for
foul,
the penalty.
And that's going to be a penalty.
Yeah. He made that penalty.
He made that happen, most definitely.
Yes.
He did.
He kind of factored it, and the referee say, okay, I will buy it.
He looked at what the situation was and what it called for in the best opportunity here. It's Memphis Depay against Marc-Andre ter Stegen. Oh, it's hit the post. Oof. Come back out, but it's put in by the rebound.
The rebound doesn't fail.
And there would be a big breath of relief for Roxa that he has found a victory in game number 1.
Game number 1 goes to Serbia. without any doubt. He may have one more goal scored, but that won't change anything. This game is over. Let's see if we can put his act together and win 2 in a row, and that will put him once again on the upper part of the brackets.
I think so. I think the way that this game has moved, that confidence seems to have come back to Roxa. It's almost as though there's almost been a team talk after what had happened with Indonesia, and it was a case of, look, if you're going to take the lead, you make sure you make these opportunities pay. And it's a big performance from Roxa, and it's not to be understated the importance of confidence, the importance of putting your best foot forward when the time calls for it.
We are live from Bali at the IESF competition, and it's a win for Serbia. Serbia 5, Iraq 2. I want to ask you a question. Is this 3-goal difference a real difference? Is it true to what it happened during the game?
I think so.
Okay.
I think you saw the clinical nature of Roxa in terms of whenever there was danger, he would find a way. This is what champions do, folks. They will find a way to find goals and find opportunities. And even when it looked a little bit in peril for Serbia, and even when it looked a little bit in peril for Roxa, he smartened up his game. He made the opportunities, and as you said, that stat that we need for goals conceded after scoring. He proved that right there and then was that's when you are at your most vulnerable, and he made those chances count. That's the important part here. It's not necessarily that he had the chance and then it went by. It's the fact that he had the chance and he converted. That was the main difference. But there's some beautiful football in there from Roxa. In and amongst the steel and the determination and the battle and the grip that we see, there's a whole lot of skill in there. There's a whole lot of ability. Let's not take that away from Iraq, mind you. They did have some brilliant pieces of play. Again, that quickness to be able to take a controlled shot into the corner.
Yes.
Again, it's great to see that level coming from the Middle East in terms of the countries that we have seen represented here today or over the course of this tournament, is that they have been well represented in terms of the nations, in terms of the nations they have brought here, in terms of the nations that have been brought to the IESF and the World Esports Championships. They are showing a very good level of gameplay within eFootball. So again, a kind of a tip of the hat to Iraq. It wasn't quite their day. They are up against what I would describe as a mentality monster, but there are still little pieces of weakness that could be probed. If they can get the right angle, if they can get the right shots away, they could cause trouble. But
I think that
if you take this game in isolation,
yes,
you would suggest that it's going to be 2 games to Roxa and 2 games to Serbia.
Yes, and I think that this was the first time we saw Roxa really on the pitch.
I think so. I think it's going to be hard playing against a host nation. Again, with a fandom that was here, with a fandom that was in the chat. I think we saw thousands of people in the YouTube chat at one point. And I suppose for Roxa, as much as we said, oh, he may like being the big bad wolf, he may like being the bad guy. It's a difficult position for somebody to be in, especially this far away from home. As we see there, 6 shots, 5 goals. You saw the kind of the clinical nature, the effectiveness of what we saw. But again, there are still parts of the Iraqi game that can be made to damage what Serbia have. In terms of those goals that Iraq scored didn't come from Serbian mistakes. They came from Iraq attacks.
Yeah.
So in that instance and in that scenario, as we look at game 2, has some confidence to draw from it. There is something there for him. It's just a case of, can you brush up your defensive work and can you stop the passing ability that we're seeing here?
And here we are once again. In this case, it's Serbia with the white shirt, Iraq with the dark shirts. This is the second match. The first one was won for 5 goals by Serbia, 2 goals by Iraq. So this match is the crucial one, because if Serbia wins, we are done with this series.
Indeed, that is, and that would be our last game of the day. But of course, if Iraq do pull a rabbit out of the eFootball hat, they may force a game 3. Here's Ousmane Dembele. Dembele into Pedri. Pedri into Rafinha. Rafinha takes a touch away from the defender.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
And it was a sighter at goal.
First opportunity in the foot of Iraq.
It's a very good start by Iraq and their ideas and their desires to get another game out of this series.
How smart is Roxa making these fouls, inventing these fouls? He did it on the box, he does it in defense.
Yeah, it's got to be something you've got to be careful of. You've got to be careful in attaching or almost biting on the bait that is put out there by Serbia. You have to be careful. You have to be careful at all times. But here's Lewandowski in towards Pedri. Pedri onside. Big manual save. Oof. That's a wonderful save.
The goalkeeper was going back on his steps, but he catched the ball. That was very important.
Indeed. Here's Pedri. Lewandowski back to Pedri. Pedri into Rafinha. It feels like the champion has warmed up a little bit here.
Yes. He entered into the warm zone.
He has gone away, had that little bit of a team talk, and probably have a little bit of a talk with the mirror to say, look, you need to sort this out. And he's certainly come back with a little bit of a vengeance. Here's Sergio Busquets. Busquets into the box. That ball is headed clear.
And once you win the first game, you know that you have it so near.
Driven cross into the box again, heading away once more is Frenkie de Jong to Rafinha, back to de Jong, back to Rafinha. Busquets to Pedri.
This is his game.
Dembele, double touch.
Touching and touching.
Is Dembele, and it's deflected away, but Dembele was onside, and he's won the ball back here. Dembele into the box, looking for Lewandowski's header, and again it's cleared away once more. Although, be careful of this Barcelona counter-attack, Roxa and Serbia, because you know how potent it is, because you use it all the time. As Frenkie de Jong heads it away once more. And that's the beauty of, again, like we said, foul. If you're using each team, there's a foul that's being given here, and there may be a quick free kick taken. It is. Ball is still in play once more. It's Frenkie de Jong. Looks just chip one over the top, but Depay didn't bite, and Araujo will knock that one clear. Oh, and that's a bit of a free hit for Serbia. Oh, it's just wide.
It went outside, but good attacking on the part of Serbia. He kind of starts this part of the match. He knows he is the one responsible for making the attack, for getting the first goal, because he's just one match away of returning to the top bracket.
Well, in terms of, it's certainly if he's one match away from getting through to the next round of the lower bracket. But of course, as you mentioned, in terms of confidence, it will certainly maybe send out a few alarm bells to the winners bracket to say, hey, actually, we may have knocked him down there, but he may be on the way back up. But here's Rafinha, and Iraq have still got something to say about this. Heavy challenge from Gerard Piqué, but Serbia will get away with that one. Here's Rafinha. Here's Pedri. Nice use of width. Finds Ousmane Dembele. Dembele into Frenkie de Jong.
The box.
Forward to Rafinha. It's cleared away again. Again, it's ricocheting all around here. You've got to clear it convincingly. Rafinha will punish. No, he won't. It's just wide of the post.
We saw this shot once and again. You know, he's not going for crossing the ball. He just goes for the goal with a closed angle, which is very difficult. He looks for the side net. He couldn't find it. And by now, this match is 0-0 in the first 30 minutes. Most of the action comes from Serbia.
Yeah, you can see the ball just breaking just kindly again for Serbia, just to try and build up once more again. 32 minutes gone here, and the early kind of chances have fallen Serbia's way, and you can see the confidence just growing.
Is de Jong Sergi Busquets, Pedri.
As you keep saying, touching and touching. He gets a
Ay,
brilliant shot away from Lewandowski. But he's cleared away once more from Iraq. And you get the general vibe here that all the pressure is heaping onto Iraq slowly but surely.
Yes, everything is by Serbia.
It's Pedri and he's giving the ball away.
But sometimes, you know, when there is just one player attacking all of the time, he might find a counter-attack. Like this one.
Counter-attack, it's Ousmane Dembele. He's got a man in the middle if he wants to use him. Ball is bundled into the goalkeeper. He makes a pretty messy save. And the ball is going to come back once more. Pedri in towards Dembele. Dembele, it's cleared away once more. Is Frenkie de Jong.
We are on the 42 minute, and here comes Serbia. He wants to make
for that run of Memphis
first goal before the halftime.
Can he shape and find the shot? He tries and just can't get there.
He cannot. And this is a beautiful match. Don't mind the 0-0 result, because both of the players have chances. Both of the players have been touching the ball, playing good football. And now is Pedri, recovered the ball by Iraq.
Yeah, you can see Iraq looking to get that last attack of the half as it falls to Ousmane Dembele. Here is Jordi Alba, but it's cleared away, and there is half-time. So
half-time.
A tentative 0-0 at this moment in time. It's interesting. We've had chances for Serbia. We just haven't quite found the mark in this game.
And what would you do? Yes, you at home that you're watching this game.
Yeah, tell us in the chat.
If you were Iraq, would you rush? Would you risk more? Would you get one of the defenders out and put another attacker? And what would you do if you were Roxa from Serbia, who tried most of the situations in the first half, did most of the heavyweight work in the first half, but has nothing yet because it's 0-0. If this result goes to the end of the match, we're going to penalty kicks. I want to know what you would do in their position.
Indeed, and what would you do if you are in this delicate point of time? You know, if you're Serbia, you are pretty much, you're on the hill. You already have a game in your, as you said, in your bag or in your locker. You already know that that's there. Do you push and go further? Or if you're Iraq, do you try and find something to just change the complexion of this game? Pedri, brilliant stop to take the pass. It's a shot on goal. It's been parried in. It's not enough to keep it out. And Serbia take the lead.
Once again, the goalkeeper plays a starring role. He was able to catch the ball, but it was not enough. You know, after the rebound, the ball ends in the net. Serbia finds the goal. He has been looking in the first half without any luck, but at the start of the second half, it's 1 for Serbia, 0 for Iraq. And if this ends like this, the series is going to Serbia.
And Serbia will be through to the next round of the lower bracket. Of course, they will be separated from the game that you've just seen in terms of Turkey. So potentially those two could meet in a bit of a rerun of the European playoff final.
That's true, because we start to watch how the brackets work, who may be crossing with who at the final.
It would be rivalries renewed between Serbia and Turkey, potentially, if they get to the finals of that lower bracket. But of course, I don't want to talk too early, because of course Iraq have still in this game, still have fight and still have the quality to do some damage, as we see Pedri in towards Lewandowski, in towards Rafinha! As
and
we
it's
said,
a goal. It was exactly what Wesa said. Once again, this man knows his game. He told you this game is not close. Iraq is far away of having this game already been lost. And he couldn't end his phrase, and Iraq was just scoring once again.
They will fight to the bitter end with Iraq. They will have every piece of fight in them. But Serbia will not want to go out here. Here's Robert Lewandowski. It's cleared away, and Araujo will clear it once more. Here's Robert Lewandowski.
And you may hear that we are not screaming so much, because It's past midnight here in Bali.
Indeed it is, and we are obviously very mindful of our neighbours in the Merusaka
Hotel.
Nusa Dua Hotel. I was just trying to make sure I had my words correct before I said that. That's a wonderful through ball. Memphis Depay. It's bounced towards Dembele, and Dembele scores.
And it's another goal for Serbia. Serbia doesn't want to go to the third match. He wants to close every possibility of being out of the tournament as the Mexican player had in just his first day. So Roxa gets tight to the goal. He says, here I am again. It's 2-1. He wants to get this game and he wants to get this series.
Yeah, certainly he wants to put this one to bed.
Of course.
And certainly wants to get this one out of the way.
And so do I.
Well, we are on the home stretch here. And of course, if you have been with us all morning, afternoon, evening, or all day, as it may have been the case, we thank you very much for sticking with us all the way until the end. We have had so many interactions, so many viewers, and so many people looking to get involved with what we are speaking about here and this game and the esport and supporting your nations. We thank you so much. A little bit of a comment here from D the Bug saying that the pressure may just look like it's gotten to Iraq, and that certainly appears to be the case, but there is still fight here as PK gets the ball away. Sergio Busquets, Frankie de Jong, Ousmane Dembele. Dembele looking in for a player. It is Robert Lewandowski. Could there be a decisive action here? Rafinha takes it into the box. It's Pedri!
Oh, la 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 la, my friend.
And the more time goes down, the more goals Serbia score, and the more chances that fall by the wayside for Iraq to really get back in this game. And
he doesn't want to go to the third match.
No, he certainly doesn't. It certainly looks as though it's Serbia in control.
Yes, yes. You know, both of these players are tired. Again, it's midnight in Bali. We have been playing since early afternoon. But Serbia, for sure, if there is something that he doesn't want, is to go to a third match.
Well, if you think about it this way, we've been on live, or at least the stream has been live for 8 hours.
8 hours,
so
yes.
If you can imagine where these players... Yeah, exactly. It's a very nice office job, might I add. But if you look at the in terms of where these players first played, you look at Serbia. First game they played against Indonesia was around about 6 o'clock.
Yes.
It's 6 hours ago.
Yes.
Roughly. If you look at Iraq, they played Spain. They played roughly about 5 hours ago. But there's a long time to wait for your next game of e-football. And it more so, in terms of the energy level, you want to go and relax, you want to unwind for the day. But instead, you've got to come back and you've got to play in a lower bracket eliminator, as it would turn out to be.
So, you know, it seems like the Iraq player would ask always to start from the middle of the field because he's so good at that second play. So good. Always bringing danger. And look at it. He's Iraq once again.
Iraq's in again. It's hit the post this time.
Whoa, 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 whoa. That was near. That was near. We are at the 70th minute. It's Serbia 3, Iraq 1. If Serbia wins this match, he's a little step more closer to the finals.
Certainly is indeed. But as you said, the more that ball stays in field, the more time will tick away. And as we keep saying, the clock is not your friend when you are losing a game of e-football, as Jordi Alba looks to recover it.
That was near.
That was near indeed, but that means Iraq have a door in here, but instead Serbia slam it once more. As you can see, play is starting to get a bit more stretched here. Lewandowski into Rafinha. He has Memphis Depay at the top of the here. It's in towards Robert Lewandowski!
And it's a goal, and now we have 4-1 in 75 minutes. People start to hug. People start to celebrate in the Balkans. It might be the match that Serbia was looking for. It's 4 goals. It's a very good demonstration of power. He's saying, I'm not here just for one day, my friend. I didn't came all the way from Serbia just to be knocked down on one day. I'm the European champion, and this is Serbia 4, Iraq 1.
As a famous Irishman once said, surprise, surprise, the king is back. And the king has made such a statement here, his self-appointed kingship. He will have to earn it here in Bali. But the way that it is going at the moment, it is all going the way of Memphis Depay and of
77
Serbia.
minutes.
77
Tomorrow
minutes.
We will bring you 6 more series.
We will indeed. We'll have 6 more games save made by Iraq. We will have
so be prepared for another 8 hours of streaming tomorrow.
Potentially.
Yes.
But we've got 6 games at least on deck tomorrow. 2 of which we already know in Saudi Arabia versus Indonesia. We have Spain versus Argentina. Turkey will find out their players in the lower bracket, as will, I hate to call it before it's done, but as will Serbia. As you can see, Serbia just trying to kill the game off.
Yes.
They know what it means to be still involved and still alive in this competition. But
they don't want much problems.
And if you think about it this way, if you were to come out of this competition, or if you were to come out of today knowing that you have got a fresh set of games tomorrow, brand new opponents, you have a fresh, completely different situation.
Yes.
You can go to bed happy knowing, do you know what, I'm still in.
And you're playing at the morning that perhaps the heat will be so.
And it will probably benefit players more at that point. But again, it's going to be who brings their A game. It'll be great to see the likes of Saudi Arabia and Indonesia and Spain and Argentina. It'll be great to see Turkey after their recovery that we saw earlier on. It'll be great to see Turkey and Serbia both in that loser bracket, as they will be incredibly dangerous opponents to face, whoever meets them from the winners bracket.
And here we are looking at the last minutes of the match. Serbia is going to win in 2 matches. Serbia is going for the 4-1, 2 minutes left.
Not long left.
He's wiping Iraq in just 2 matches.
It will be Serbia all the way here. Again,
one more situation for Serbia.
All but seconds left on the clock here, as 3 minutes have been added. There's 90 seconds of it. You can see that
the Iraqi player who gave a really great.
It's a great effort, and again, if you are Iraq, or if you are part of the delegation here, you can be incredibly proud as the fans at home, as the viewers at home. You can be incredibly proud of Iraq in terms of their abilities that they have shown on this grand stage. As Dembele fires one home,
and he says
just to say
goodbye with a goal.
Just to say thank you for the opportunity, because again, as we learned in the chat today, this is Iraq's first international tournament
and he
ever.
Gave a great impression.
And he's made the top 8 players that came out of the groups.
And he scared quite most of his opponents.
Yeah, he scared quite a few opponents, and he's been thunderous in front of goal. And that right there just goes to show you that the stunning strike, it puts a lot of power behind it, but Iraq can be proud of their representative in eFootball.
And good sportsmanship in Roxa, leaving the replay.
Yeah, absolutely.
The replay,
the replay. Yeah, well, we understood it, but leaving the replay on, it was nice to see. But this will be the last action of the game. And there is the final whistle.
It's a win for Serbia, 2 matches, and he wiped Iraq out of the game. He's back. The European champion shows why he's a champion.
But he doesn't go the same way that Mexico have. So he's recovered that game plan, he's recovered that gameplay, and as a result, he has recovered into the next round of the lower bracket.
And these are the highlights.
These are the highlights. Chances just went a little bit far and wide. But you could see there was chances to have the chances here. And again, you could see that, again, just winning the ball back, it was a bit of a gift. And then that went just wide. So we thought, these chances, are they going to come and go? And there's an unlucky ricochet that was there. And instead, it was made the most of here. Rafinha just whistled past the post. And we kept thinking, are these chances, they're going to keep dropping? Are they going to keep going wide? Are they going to keep hitting the goalkeeper? And instead, we have our answer in terms of the way that we saw De Jong, we saw Lewandowski, we saw players over. This little stop here gives your ability, or for the player, enough of a run, and you can see keeper just couldn't quite keep it out.
And you know something interesting? In both matches, he made more than 4 goals. Yep. 5 in the first one, 4 in the second one. So this also shows that these were not games won by chance.
No, absolutely not. They were run by skill and they were won by ability, most definitely.
So these are the last of the highlights. Great play, but Serbia looking for the goal, always having one free player, being able to catch the rebound, always showing spaces, opportunities. Once again on the right, very fast attacks.
Yeah, and they were fluid, and they knew, and again, in terms of the attacks, they knew where their players were. You said it yourself about in terms of finding his mates. He didn't find them in game 1 as thoroughly as we thought he would. He certainly found them enough in game 2, and he certainly found them enough to take this game away from Iraq.
That's true, my friend. So thank you very much, everybody that was joining us during the day. Today we broke the record of viewers, so thank you very much.
Fantastic achievement and fantastic support shown in the chat for all of the nations that we saw here.
Yes.
You know, again, as we saw that, you know, the chat kind of exploded the minute they saw Indonesia, and it was hashtag IndoPride.
And great sportsmanship on the chat. People getting along well. That's also what we like.
Absolutely.
Because that's how we live this show.
Absolutely. And we see the stats here where it was almost more of the same from Roxanne again in terms of 14 shots, 4 goals, and again, it was just control.
I think it was more than fair to be able to win this game. He deserved it. So we are closing our day, and before closing, we have to say thank you.
Oh, absolutely. We have to talk about the fact that we are at the IESF 14th World Esports Championships, and of course all of the partners and sponsors who've supported this event. We have wonderful Indonesia, Kemenpora, NOC, Kony, and I will take a big deep breath here. And thanks to all the sponsors of the JHL Group, JHL Auto, NusaPay, DIS, Gungdang Crypto, Pertamina, Taiwan Excellence, Hydro Coco, Plosa and Sofel, Antis and IndieHome, Telkomsel, HIN, the Episode Hotel, Murasaka Nusa Dua, thank you so much for helping us here. The Meneski Global, the Indonesia Football E-League, ESID and Lemon ID, and our media partners which we've been cooperated with is Net TV, Trans2Ju, Deticom, Esport.id, Video.com, Dunia Games, Dens TV, Dens Play, Melo Putir, Bola Score, and Kami Bijak. So many people have made this possible.
Thank you very much.
Thank you everybody for their support.
Also
obviously
for
to
the
production
crew
who have been through everything here with us today. We will be back tomorrow. Don't miss a beat. Make sure you have notifications on.
Have a good rest, because tomorrow we are playing at the morning. So it's more or less...
Yeah, we've got what?
Less than 10 hours to sleep.
We've got about 8.5 hours, so we'll see you roughly around about then.
Until tomorrow, my friend.
Care,
thank you
everyone.
very much.
Thank you once more.
My pleasure once
Take
again.
Care.
So, Brenda, it's all yours.
Voice clear? Yeah! Finally! Yeah! I'm so nervous actually. I'm so scared that I cannot speak to all of you. But no worries, the technical issue were fixed. Thank you so much to our organizer and also all of the crew. So once again, I would like to say thanks to the casters. Have a good rest. Yeah. And give it up to the winner is Team Serbia! Not too loud, not too loud. I would like to hear your voice loudly. Once again, give it up to Team Serbia! Yeah, that's the spirit, Basti! Yeah, how to say let's go in your own language? Wait, you so nice, you yeah? Okay, so I want to know about how to say let's go in your own language.
Idemo.
Idemo? So weak. But you have to say it louder. Okay. Okay. Let's go together in 3.
1. Idemo!
Oh, yeah! Am I correct? Yeah, I'm so smart. So once again, congratulations to you. Maybe you can spill to us who will be the most, maybe the team from any nation that you beware of, that you want to watch, and okay, I have to practice maybe harder to battle against them.
First of all, I will play tomorrow against Turkey because we are the lower bracket. And if you remember, he asked you asked him what team he wants. He says Serbia, so I coming to him.
Yeah, that's right. I remember it. So once again, congratulations, bro. Have a nice rest for today. Oh, thank you so much, bro. Oh my God, wish you all the best for you. So finally, we are on the edge of this competition, especially for football. So I am Brenda Kwan. On behalf on the event organizer, would you like to say thanks to all of your attention, all of your support, and we'll see you again tomorrow. And don't forget, don't miss it, the big match for tomorrow. So once again, see you tomorrow on IESF 14 World Esports Championship Bali 2022. Bye bye and have a nice rest.